In the beginning, we were simply the wooded lot next to the new elementary school. When Byron Scott was a youth director at Maple Avenue UMC, on the way to a meeting at County Line UMC, his senior pastor pointed at the lot and said, "The annual conference has bought this property and will put a church here." Byron laughed and thought the area was so sparsely populated that it made no sense. Then, in 1972, when Byron was ordained and serving a different church, he got a call telling him he was going to start a new church on the same property he had laughed at. That is how he became the founding pastor at Due West. For months, Byron went door to door in the community distributing flyers and inviting families to the new church. The first service was held on July 8, 1973, in the lunchroom of Due West Elementary School. The youth choir from Marietta First provided the special music. Tom Davis and Scott Sappington, who both later served at our church, were in that youth choir. In the beginning, the church did not have an official name, but since one was needed in order to open a bank account, Due West was used so that people would know where the church was located. The address of the parsonage where the pastor lived with his family was used for all correspondences. The name, Due West United Methodist Church, became official later that year. The church began accepting membership at the very first service. Anyone who joined by the Constitution service in December would be charter members of the church. There are 87 charter members, 21 who joined on that first Sunday. Sunday school classes began soon after the first service. One adult class, one youth class, one elementary class, and a nursery. Each Sunday school teacher was responsible for bringing all materials and supplies every Sunday and returning home with them again after the service. This was quite a task for nursery workers who carried around cribs and toys in their car trunks for months and months. The music ministry started with an adult choir that rehearsed each week in someone's home. One lone portable trailer sat on our property. It was used as an office and a place for night meetings. 2 years later, we finally moved into our own building. The first service was held there on October 19, 1975. The building consisted of a chapel, a kitchen, 6 classrooms, and an office. This building was later nicknamed the Pizza Hut Church because of the similar roof lines, and it had a window that is shaped like a soda bottle. In June 1977, Reverend Pete Dinkins became our new pastor. Realizing our limited space, especially for Sunday school classes, the church added an education wing in 1980. In 1982, Reverend Jim Turner was appointed to serve Due West, followed by Reverend Mac W. Riley in 1985. Through this period, we continued to grow. Even with the addition of 2 portable trailers, our facilities were getting very, very cramped. During this period, Boy Scout Troop 540 built their facility, known now, or since, as the Scout Hut, entirely with volunteer labor and materials. A long-term planning committee was then organized to help us better plan for the future projects yet to come. In 1991, we saw the appointment of Reverend Richard Hunter. Under Richard's leadership, our Building to Serve campaign began, and plans were made and executed for a new worship facility, which was completed in November 1995. It would seat 600 with a commercial kitchen and fellowship hall in the basement. Our weekday preschool program began that very same year. Pastor Tom Davis was appointed to the church in 1997. We began our first contemporary service, eventually called the 939 service. Each Sunday, the screens had to be carried in and put in place before the service and then returned to storage before the next service. But we still needed more space, so we brought in more portable trailers to house children and adult Sunday school classes and started plans to add a multi-level building at the end of the classroom building. The groundbreaking was organized, but God had other plans. We were given the opportunity to instead purchase Burnt Hickory Baptist, since they were moving to a new facility. This would give us additional classroom space, more parking, and a larger sanctuary. The problem was that there was a strip of land between the 2 properties that was owned by a local resident, Mr. Chilton. After some negotiating, and a lot of prayers, Mr. Chilton agreed to a land swap, giving us the land between Burnt Hickory Baptist and Due West United Methodist in exchange for acreage along the northwest corner of our current land. In January 2003, we simultaneously closed on the Burnt Hickory Baptist Church property and with Mr. Chilton. At this time, to stop us from saying the old building and the new building, we began referring to the former Burnt Hickory property as our North Campus. The previously established Due West United Methodist facility was referred to as the South Campus. Phase 1 of our Committed to God We Grow building campaign began with building the Family Life Center. The official ribbon cutting was held in September of 2004. Upon its completion, we began to focus on Phase 2, which was the renovation of both the North Campus and South Campus buildings. In March of 2005, the administrative offices, children's programming, music ministry, and both traditional services were moved to the North Campus building. In a strange turn of events, Due West UMC was now located off of Burnt Hickory Road, and Burnt Hickory Baptist was now on Due West Road. Also, the city boundary line runs through the middle of our property, meaning that the South Campus building and the Family Life Center are in Marietta, while the North Campus building is in Kennesaw. There was a considerable expense and hassle involved in changing the church's address. Therefore, the mailbox was simply moved to the middle of the parking lot so it would still be in Marietta, but easily accessible to staff in the North Campus offices. It's even still there to this day. Upon moving into the North Campus building, the staff soon discovered that there were areas that did not appear on the blueprint. Most were much needed storage space, but the most unusual was an entire floor in the area behind the choir loft. Several staff members were fans of the 1999 film Being John Malkovich, where the main character works in an office on a floor that supposedly did not exist. Our floor was thus nicknamed the John Malkovich floor, and is still lovingly called that today. Since 2005, we have added additional worship services when needed and moved lots of groups from one building to another to best accommodate the decline and regrowth of programming that is normal in any church. Reverend Tom Davis moved after an unprecedented 20 years of service at Due West. Reverend David Campbell joined us in 2017. In 2020, we made a new use of our parking lot as we held outdoor worship services during the pandemic, and online worship became the norm for a time. It would be impossible for us to list everything our church has accomplished in the past 50 years, but we're at least going to mention some of them. From the beginning, Due West has been reaching out to help those in need within the community and beyond. In the early 1980s, Due West started their work with Must, which continues to this day. Other ongoing mission projects have been the support of the Murphy Harps Children's Home, including a yearly fundraising dinner sponsored by the United Methodist Men and the donations of Christmas gifts and Easter baskets from our congregation for the children at the home. Other ways our church reaches out to the community are through Stitch and Sally's, Habitat for Humanity, Flower Ministry, UMCOR, Care Binders, and Nursing Home Ministry, just to name a few. We have sent mission teams to local, regional, and foreign countries to help spread the love of Jesus by being his hands and feet. Due West UMC's dedication to missions has provided an opportunity for all age groups to experience the joy of giving. One group within the church has spent countless hours helping those within our walls and in the community with anything from building a ramp for a family in need to giving scholarships to chosen graduating seniors each year. These are our hard-working United Methodist men. On any given day, you will find one or more of these dedicated men in some act of service. And who doesn't like numbers? So we made sure to get some stats for you guys too. Over 20,000 children, youth, and adults have participated in Vacation Bible School. Center for the Arts has presented over 25 musicals with both adult and child performers. We have sent mission teams to Costa Rica, Venezuela, Greece, Kenya, Mexico, Ecuador, India, Northern Ireland, and Guatemala. Over 7,000 children have been involved in our Upward Recreation Ministry, most of them playing either soccer or flag football. Over 5,000 children have attended our weekday preschool program. Over 3,000 youth have been confirmed. Over 240 graduating seniors have added their handprints and some footprints to our legacy wall. And for 20 years, we have reached out to the community through our annual pumpkin patch. If you think these first 50 years were great, just wait until you see the next 50.